Hi everyone, welcome to day 23 of our journey with the Holy Spirit through 40 days with the Holy Spirit and walking with this book by Jack Levison. Thank you to Howard for his blog for yesterday, and today we're moving into a new chapter in our journey together, and this is how the Holy Spirit leads us. And we're going to be looking at a passage which is quite well known to many of us from Isaiah chapter 11 verses 1 to 5, and it's a passage that we often have at the Christmas carol service, as well as Isaiah 9. We often have Isaiah 11 as well as one of the 9 lessons and carols, and to remind us, these are the words that are set for today. A shoot shall come out from the stump of Jesse, a branch shall grow out of its roots. The Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and of understanding, the Spirit of counsel and of might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. His delight shall be in the fear of the Lord. For he shall not judge by what his eyes see, or decide by what his ears hear, but with righteousness he shall judge the poor, and decide with equity for the meek of the earth. He shall strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips he shall kill the wicked. Righteousness shall be the belt around his waist, and faithfulness the belt around his loins. Words that we sort of know somewhere deep within, that we may well have heard before. But what does all this mean, where we are walking in the counsel of the Spirit? Well, I've taken a funeral today down at Western Crematorium of somebody from Kongsbury village, and sadly he passed away in quite difficult circumstances, and his wife passed away only 18 months previously. And their gentleman's two stepsons were at the funeral today, and they spoke about their dad and what he meant to them. And one of those gentlemen had prepared quite some notes on pieces of paper, all handwritten, and when he stood up to speak at the crematorium, he found it really hard, and in fact the words probably just became a blur. And you may have had that experience yourself when you've been in such a situation, when you've had to speak, and the occasion was so important, and you could tell that he was struggling for a moment, because the words just all got jumbled up. And then he spoke from his heart about what this gentleman meant to him, and he spoke so not so much eloquently, he spoke with such passion and integrity about a couple of stories which had meant so much to him in his life, that had helped shape who he was. And he was both honest about his father's difficulties, but also about his many qualities, to the point where at the end, it's not often one does this, but we actually asked the 9 or 10 people there to give this young man a round of applause. You could tell it had been a struggle for him, but at the same time he had spoken with such integrity and such passion and compassion. And not just myself, but the organist, who hears more talks at funerals than probably he's had hot dinners, we were both full of both admiration and also pride in this young man, against all odds. For me, this is what it means to emerge out of the stump of Jesse, to speak out of the Spirit. Somebody who has, whether he particularly knows God or not, would actually speak authentically, with conviction, humility and truth, and above all with love. And we were humbled, all of us there, and I turned towards the coffin of his father and said, I hope you are proud, because I would certainly be proud if somebody spoke like that. So I leave that thought with you, because we can often think we need to speak most eloquently, we can often think we need to be really funny or really clever, but actually no, it comes down to integrity and authenticity, and living in the moment and trying to be the person you were created to be. And I find that the work of the Spirit. So we look forward to the leading of the Spirit section of this book, and to the various topics that we're going to look at and readings we're going to look at over the coming days. But I hope you have a good rest of the day, and we look forward to the blog tomorrow. God bless everyone. Have a good rest of the day. Bye for now.